Okay, so we're gonna start with making the tortillas for our soup, okay? So typically we cut these in nice little strips, and then we put them in our baking sheet, and we put them in the oven, and we bake them for like 8 to 10 minutes per side. But you gotta watch them too. But at the same time, what we're gonna do, we'll bring another set of tortillas in, and we're gonna cut these in triangles for chips. So I'll show you both methods, okay? So we're gonna cut these into strips, and so we're gonna put these over here, nice and spread over here. We're gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt, nice generous helping of salt there. Okay, we're gonna add just a little touch of lime, just get a little bit of flavor, and then we're gonna throw this right in the oven. Super easy. And we'll set our handy dandy timer for about 8 minutes. We'll check it out and see how it goes. So now we're going to move on to the sauce part of our tortilla soup, but before we do that, I need to pull out our tortilla strips. Now look at these. These are nice and golden brown, nice and crispy. We're going to put these off to the side, and they're going to continue to crisp up a little bit more, and they're going to be nice and crispy when we put them on top of our soup. So we'll put these over here. So now we've got our dried pasilla chilies. So we're going to put these on here. We're going to roast them just a little bit. It's going to bring out the smokiness, and then when we put them into our soup, that smokiness is going to go into the whole flavor. While that's going on there, we're going to roughly saute our onions and our garlic, and these can all stay whole and or sliced, just because they're going to go in a food processor in a little bit. So we can just give this a little bit of a saute here, and we'll give these a little bit of flip over on this side. All right, these are smelling really good, so I'm super excited about that. And we're going to saute this up a little bit, and then we're going to throw this in our food processor, and then we're going to put the tomatoes in there. We're going to saute it up, bring our nice little La Crusetta in here, and we're going to make it all happen. So this is pretty cool. I'm excited about this. Going good. Alright, it's getting brown. We're going to leave that alone. These we're just going to go just a little bit. You don't want to go too far, because then they'll get like they'll be more like burnt, and you don't want that burnt feeling in your soup. So we're just going a little bit longer. You can see that they're getting a little more softy and a little more bendy, kind of. So getting there. This one's going to need a little more time. It's a little bit thicker. But this guy is pretty much done. So we're going to put him in here. Just a little bit of flip here. So we're getting nice and brown here. This guy here. Alrighty. And then we're going to, that's almost there. It's getting there. It needs a little more time. I'm going to get nice and brown. These garlic is going good. This will go over there. This will go over here. Alright, so we'll pull these off. Okay, we'll shut this guy off. And alright, so we're going to saute these a little bit longer and wait for them to get brown. Once they get brown, and you can see that the onions are breaking down, getting a little softer, the garlic's kind of getting a little brown too. That's what we're looking for. Some, not like totally burned, because this is a different type of recipe where it's just, you don't need the flavor caramelization in there. You just need it to be soft enough so when you put it in the food processor, it comes out, the flavors come out into the soup, and then that's really where you need to go with it. But these are getting really good. Alrighty. And okay, so now we're going to bring our food processor in. Okay, so while our tortilla chips are going, we're going to put everything in our nice food processor. Just got this one, so I'm super excited to use it. But if you don't have a nice food processor, you can always use a blender to blend everything up, or you can even do one of those handheld ones in the pot. It's not going to be the same, but you'll get the same feel. So what we're going to do is we're going to add all our yummy onion and garlic into this food processor, and then put that there. Add our tomatoes. These are nice whole tomatoes, nice good quality tomatoes, and if you get good quality tomatoes, you get a good quality soup. And then our pasilla chilies, we're just going to break them up, and we're going to tear them up just like this and add them in here. We don't want to add the stems, obviously, so we're going to get this in here and get it going. So a little bit of seeds. If you want less spicy, you can not do the seeds. You can do less if you want to. It just depends on your type. Typically, we make a tortilla soup. It's going to be a little more spicy just because it's the nature of what it is. Okay, so that's that. So we're going to put this on here. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's take this off and see how we're doing here. All right, you typically run this about, maybe a minute, minute and a half, depending on what size you want. So now we see this nice ruby color. We have the pastillo chilies adds to that. If you use some good quality tomatoes and you add that with the nice Mexican spices, you're gonna get this nice quality stuff right here. So we're gonna put this off to the side. So while this is going, we're going to add a little bit of oil to it. We're going to add a little bit of oil. Alrighty. And then while that's going, we're going to wait for that. Now see, again, we're looking at the color, we're looking at the texture. See how it's nice and thick. It's got some good, like something to hold on to. That's what we're looking for. And those nice little bits of the pasilla chili, you can see those in there. Those are going to look really good in your soup, especially when we start adding the avocado and we start adding cheese and the ruby red and the pastillo chili is going to be all really nice and nice color. Okay. All right. So this is coming. This takes a while. Okay. So we're going to add this to our pot. Nice and easy. Just get a little bit more there. Good. All right. Man, this looks really good. And then we also have some Mexican oregano and some bay leaf and some epazote. Now, the Mexican oregano is different from regular oregano because it's more rustic. So it's going to give it more of that smoky flavor, adds that pastillo chili. A lot of that Mexican flavor comes from that, and the epazote is more like that earth feel, like a nice, soothing, kind of welcoming kind of flavor to it too. And then we add a bay leaf, not a big deal. But we're going to add that to our soup. And then get a nice little stir. Mix it right in. All right. And then we're going to cook this down a little bit, and then once it gets down, cook it down a little bit. Then we're going to add some stock. I typically use a vegetable stock because my family is pescatarian, so we do a lot of vegetable stock. But you can use chicken stock. You can use beef stock, whatever kind of stock you want. Oh, there's our timer. So hold on. We're going to get this going. Or you can even add chicken, like chicken thighs in here to add more protein to it. We're going to add some avocado for a little bit more protein, some good fats. We're going to add, the tortilla chips. They're going to be more of the complex carbohydrates and less of the oily fats, and it's going to be more consistent. A few seconds more, we're going to add our stock, and then we're just going to let that sit and sit and sit and sit and sit, and just kind of like everything comes together, all the flavors meld together. So we're almost there. We're getting there. You can see how it's coming down. Okay, let's turn it down a little now. Okay, so my family's straight from Mexico. We do a lot of traditional Mexican recipes. These days I try to take those recipes and make them a little more healthier for everybody, for a little more fiber, a little more protein, like less carbs. I know Mexican rice is so good, but it's so lots of carbohydrates. But so my goal again is try to add the proteins, try to make little changes here and there, just to make just a little bit better. So they're still got the nice, good, authentic rustic Mexican flavor in it, but at the same time it's a little bit healthier. So now this is cooking down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put this over here. We're going to grab our stock, and again, this is a vegetable stock we're using today. And we're going to put that in here. All right. And then we're going to bring the heat back up again and bring that back to boil. And this is going to be our soup. Now look how nice and rich this looks. The color, the texture, the flavor, the smell is really, really nice. So you'll see that when you make it. So But here we go. We're gonna let this cook down for a while, and this is gonna have to stew for a good like 15-20 minutes just to get all those flavors together. So, all right, so our soup is ready. So we're going to take this off, and we're gonna give a nice little stir here. And look at how nice and flavorful this looks. It smells so good. Okay, we're gonna add our soup to the bowl, but before we do that, we're going to add our avocado. So we cut our avocado really quickly here. Do a little bit of cross cutting. And then we'll just take the spoon, we're gonna spoon it out. It all breaks down in there. And then we're gonna add our queso fresco to the bottom. Look at that, looks really nice. And then we're gonna add the star of the show, the soup. Alrighty, look at this. This is gonna be really yummy. Alright, put that on there. Throw a little bit of some tortilla chips on there. And then we're going to just garnish with a little bit of cilantro. Nice and easy. And then put that there. Smells really good. We're gonna give it a nice little taste. So good. Very rustic, very traditional Mexican. My grandma would be proud. You should try it sometime.